Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah. Let's go into the night with Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
To the bank Sunday at 1. The gamblers, whether they're pros or amateurs, playing the over. Once 51.5, now 52 and a hook. A massive number against a couple of top defenses. They think the offense will prevail Sunday at 1. By the way, 4 of the 6 playoff games, the road team is favored. So, I mean, all of that playing for the home field, is it overrated? It is not in the case of the Jags. They were 7-1 here. They got absolutely destroyed in London. And 6-2 on the road, right? A football team that, whenever you say that, I think you have to fill in the remainder of the sentence, which is they got screwed by an official and a bad call in Cincinnati. And how in the hell did this team ever recover after blowing a 19-point lead in Houston? So that is the case. And again, one of the biggest surprises that I've ever had with you as the listening audience, the very intelligent, yet with an incredible sense of humor, the great Jaguars fans who listen to Into the Night on 92.5 FM, is when I tried as hard as I could to really sell the conversation about owners changing the playoff structure to get rid of the 4 divisional winners. And, you know, you get the bye, and then the other 3 obviously are able to host. And my thinking was, Jacksonville doesn't want to lose this, because I really thought that they could win the division with 9, right? And they ended up, or I ended up picking them to go 10-7. Of course, they went 13-4. But we saw what happened between Pittsburgh and Baltimore. And how about John Harbaugh? That is over. We'll get into that in a little bit. It comes a day late, not on Black Monday, and they signed John Harbaugh through the year 2028. So, you know, yesterday we were talking about Pete Carroll, who's set to make $44,000 a day. I would love to know what the numbers are going to be on John Harbaugh. I think Harbaugh's got a lot left, though. I wouldn't be surprised at all with now, 7 vacancies in the NFL if he ends up with one of those 6 other jobs. He may be a broadcaster for a year, you know, sit back, recharge the batteries, kind of like what Belichick did. I don't know. We will see. But if you look at the AFC North, they got in with 10 wins. Obviously, the bizarre NFC South, where Tampa beats Carolina, but Carolina ended up going through the back door and getting a playoff anyway in a home game where they're a 10-point underdog. That's just wrong. You look at the NFC South, 8-9, 8-9, 8-9. Carolina, Tampa Bay, Atlanta. Carolina recognized. Atlanta says goodbye to their coach. Raheem Morris fired after 2 years. 8-9 records. And there's a lot of people right now in Tampa Bay who, as we know, have lost their last 2 offensive coordinators to Carolina and Jacksonville, respectively, have had it there with Coach Bowles. So, anyway, it didn't look like that's going to happen, but I was very surprised to see what did take place today with John Harbaugh. So, again, that's like maybe the biggest surprise that I've had with the listening audience here forever. I tried so hard to sell that, and there was nothing. I mean, church mice. And I was shocked by that. Maybe the thinking was, Ballou's talking playoffs. I'm going to tune out. Because perhaps you didn't think it was reality. And I've said all along, I thought that keeping it this way with the 8 divisional winners is better for the AFC South. My thinking at the time was it was arguably the weakest division in the AFC. Well, that wasn't the case. They got a wild card out of Houston. They've won 9 straight. Indianapolis came pretty damn close with a record of 8-9. Anyway, that is that. That is a conversation which we'll have. That'll probably be brought up again during the NFL's owners' meetings at some point coming up in 2026, and we will absolutely take a look at things with that. Okay, Mark Duffner in 30 minutes. Now, looking forward to talking with the former coach, 50 years in the NFL and college football. We've seen a little bit of movement now across that defensive line for the Jacksonville Jaguars, including, 5 snaps on Sunday where you had Hines Allen lining up right next to Trayvon Walker. For the year, 18 dropbacks, 2 sacks, 10 pressures. It's a different element. Do you have enough trust on the other side, whether it's, Strigal, whether it's Emmanuel Ogbah, who wasn't even healthy a week ago, whether it's DeJuan Smoot? I mean, what are your overall thoughts on this? I love the fact that they've put it on tape. And not only have they put it on tape, it's been very successful defensively. If you look at all of the changes that Jacksonville has made in season and in game, all right? Most of it was what? In your back 7, going with 3 safeties, an awful lot over the last month. The way they rotated the 4 corners when Jordan Lewis came back the first time from an injury. We know that Jarian Jones was a forgotten man. It was a slow start early on for Greg Newsome. Buster Brown right now playing arguably the best in that entire contain. And I think he's a guy that after the Cole Van Lannon signing, which I don't even think I had a chance to talk about, right? Because it happened over the weekend or it happened Friday night after we got off air. I mean, I could have given you 100,000 predictions on what the Jaguars were going to do during the 2025 and 2026 season, and I never would have gotten to Cole Van Lannon, a $51 million extension. Never. I mean, and I'm so happy for him. He deserves it. It's great. Buster Brown's next. You got Myers done. You got Van Lannon done. You got to get Buster done, and then you're going to decide whether or not you give the big money to Devin Lloyd, whether or not you get that contract done right now with Trayvon Walker. Then they got a bunch of other guys you got to take a look at. Parker Washington, you got to take a look at Antonio Johnson. We'll save that for after the playoffs. But, again, that's my definition of a very successful team, is when you do not have the ability to re-sign all of your drafted players. And that's never been spoken. This is the first time in 31 years. It's been a couple of examples, right? I mean, we could talk about Maurice Jones-Drew redoing a contract. We could talk about Allen Robinson not getting a contract. We can talk about guys who ended up being major negatives for the football program. I mean, Jalen Ramsey, Yannick Ngakoue, Leonard Fournette. We can go on and on and on, but just think about it. Drafted players. And, hey, Trent Baalke deserves a lot of credit for these draft picks, or, quite a few of these draft picks. Despite all of his faults, particularly free agency, I'll give credit when credit is due. And Baalke did make some good draft selections. Now, I also think it's pretty fair to point out that their best play is happening right now. So were they developing under the Peterson regime? We've seen them absolutely develop under Liam Cohen and no doubt with Anthony Campanile on the other side. So John Harbaugh is out, signed through 2028. I mean, here's a guy with 193 career wins. There was a big label in Pittsburgh before this game, and it sounded a little bit like this. The loser is out. The loser goes home. And the last 5 minutes of that game was just excruciating. I mean, back and forth, Pittsburgh and Baltimore, and it was mistake-filled. I mean, look at Jalen Ramsey, who, if you didn't see, is basically playing safety. And there were a couple of times where he bit on the play action, and he thought it was going to be a run by Jackson, and it wasn't all his fault. The corner as well was pushed way up, and you just had Zay Flowers, who caught not one but 2 touchdowns. And Chris Collinsworth said, in all of the years that I have watched football, I've never seen a guy as wide open as Zay Flowers. You said that the first time, then you turned around and said it the second time. How about that? Chris doubled down on Monday night, for crying out loud.
Sunday night football.
Oh, Sunday night. All right. You know, let me tell you this. Aaron Rodgers has the greatest memory of any man that I've ever spoken to. That is based on a 10-minute interview session with the great Chris Collinsworth. I think it was announced. Who's got our game? Is it the number one crew at CBS?
It's got to be Nance and Romo.
Wow.
I haven't seen it officially,
Wow.
but I think we're the only CBS game of the weekend.
I think you're right. Let me check that real quick. For those of you who do not know, a couple of games on Saturday, 3 on Sunday, as well as Monday night football during the playoffs. Come on, this computer's going a little. This computer is the combination of Helter Skelter and Helen Keller. It's somewhere in between. All right, here we go. Rams at Panthers. That's on Fox at 4:30 Saturday. Don't make any plans. Rams are a 10-point road favorite. 10.5. That smells, but not in this league. They can get away with anything. Most important thing, right, is give us 18 games. Doesn't matter if the officiating does a good job. Doesn't matter if the broadcasters do a good job. Doesn't matter. Just get us to 18 games, 20 weeks. Green Bay at Chicago. This renewed rivalry. I think they've played 213 times in the history. Both clubs won at home this year. Something's got to give in matchup number 3. That'll be on Prime at 8 o'clock on Saturday night. Sunday at 1, CBS, Duval, the Jaguars, and the Bills. Yeah, then it's Fox at 4:30 with 49ers at Eagles. Sunday night, L.A. in Foxborough, Massachusetts. And then at 8:15 on Monday night, it'll be Houston visiting Pittsburgh. For those of you not aware, Houston is a 3-point road favorite. So, again, you have 4 road favorites, and your 2 home favorites are by less than 1 possession. Philadelphia by 4.5 points, New England by 3.5 points. So that is the very latest as far as that is concerned. All right, I'm fired up tonight. I really am. I spent a lot of time listening to Buffalo media. And, I think some of it, again, is self-imposed media. You can kind of figure that out. I mean, I know journalism's gone. Journalism is broken. But when you talk about Buffalo consistently as a teacher, I would automatically start whatever you're going to say with a C-. You're not starting with an A, okay? At least lose that, okay? We get it. The media, for the most part, okay, wants the hometown team to win, roots for the hometown team for several reasons. I mean, number one, just look at it around here. I mean, look how magical it is. Everyone's happy. Everyone's in a good mood. I think you're going to see a lot of babies pop out in about 8 months, right? I mean, it's just a wonderful time of year. I love the fact that people have smiles on their faces. And to me, that's what it's all about. But calling them just doesn't sit well. It's about the only thing that would still, in today's media that I absolutely would question. If you want to comment on that, you can. 641-1010. Text line brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures. You can also get us on YouTube tonight at 1010XL into the night. All right. How are your eyes? The seating this weekend, you could be way, way out at the bank. I hope you got the 2020 that you want. If not, make an appointment right now at Shmunez Vision. Give yourself an opportunity to visit the very best. Grab an examination. And while you're there, you're going to see all this new high-tech equipment They got it all at Shmunez Vision, but it may not apply to you. You visit somewhere else, they're going to bring you to this machine, they're going to bring you to that machine. You have no idea about it. I have no idea about it. You know what it does? It raises your bill. At Shmunez Vision, they're always looking out for you and your value. So if it's not necessary, you're not going to go to any one of those new high-priced machines. All right, that's one aspect that makes them, where they are. Now you're talking about 37 years worth of experience when it comes to surgery. I think it was 8 years ago, maybe. I visited Dr. Neil Shmunez. He said, "Brother, you need surgery tomorrow morning." I'm like, "What are you talking about? I got a tea time, man. I got that." And he goes, "No, you need surgery. You need that out." Okay, called my boss. My boss goes, "Get it out." I got it out. Never has been a setback. Never has there been a problem. If I didn't visit him, I wouldn't have known. It could have spread. The same situation may be going on with you. Make an appointment today. Get yourself an examination at Shmunez. More than 37 years worth of experience with Dr. Neil Shmunez, Catherine Shmunez, John Hunt, all three doctors right there getting ready to take care of you. All right, we are absolutely ready to go. It's Buffalo week. The Bills have not won a playoff game on the road since 1992. Sean McDermott has not won a playoff game on the road. Josh Allen has not won a playoff game on the road. Can Jacksonville hold serve this weekend? The experts say, not so fast. Buffalo remains the slightest favorite over the Jaguars Sunday at 1 o'clock.
1010XL's running game takes a giant step forward.
Well, Fred Taylor is the whole package.
Fred Taylor joins Dan and Jeff on the drill. Monday morning running back with Fred Taylor is fueled by Epstein & Robbins DUI defense firm.
Like many football fans in Jacksonville, I love defense. Hi, I'm attorney Lee Lockett, and I'm here to tell you that defense in the courtroom is important as well. That's because penalties for DUI are much more serious than penalties on the gridiron. If you or someone you know is facing a DUI, call us for a free case analysis now. Know before you blow 858-9818. Put my more than 20 years of experience to work for you. Office is Jacksonville, serving all surrounding counties. Call 858-9818 or go to knowbeforeyouBlow.com.
Hi, folks, it's Frank Frangie. All those festive holiday feasts probably have added a few extra pounds, but here's the thing. You can make this the year you finally lose the weight safely and for good. Now, you know by now my daughter Amber kicked off the journey with Awaken 180 weight loss back in the summer. You ready for this? She's lost 100 pounds in 6 months. Man, is she proud of that. 100 pounds. And she really did it with this really, really good plan. There's no shots, no medications, no supplements, just real food and a proven plan. That's right. With Awaken 180, you can still enjoy your favorite food and drink. No more yo-yo diets or feeling deprived. The structured program empowers you to control your eating without hunger. It really is doable. Don't just resolve to make the change. Make the change. Call Awaken 180 today and take that first small step. Book your consultation now, 1-844-346-1800, or visit awaken180weightloss.com. It worked for Amber. It really did. And it can work for you. Awaken 180 weight loss.
Scholar athletes prepare themselves to win at life.
1010XL and Southeast Orthopedic Specialist shine the spotlight on the Scholar Athlete of the Week. Wednesdays on The Frangie Show. Checked by
The Plumbers and Pipe Fitters Local Union 234.
It's 2026, and it's time to get your home zero-resified by calling our cleaning heroes at Zero Res. 20% off carpet and upholstery cleaning right now, plus take $100 off air duct cleaning when you mention 1010XL. Visit ZeroResJacksonville.com.
Tacos and sports go hand in hand, literally. You can watch the game with a taco in each hand or with a taco in one hand and a tennis racket in the other. Don here from Taco Lou in Jax Beach. I love sports, and since you're listening to this station, you love sports as well. If you love sports and tacos, then Taco Lou is calling your name. You can watch the game here or call in a to-go order to watch at home. Or we could cater your next watch party. It's a new year, so let's get off to a great start at Taco Lou in Jax Beach. Cheers to tacos, sports, and tequila.
Hello, this is Father Nicholas Lowe, and this month I want to talk to you about welcoming the winds of change in your life. But so often, when we see the winds of change coming our way, our immediate response is to fight it. Friends, when you see things in your life changing, when the winds of change are coming your way, don't fight it, but embrace it. Recognize that God is stirring you up so that you too can soar like an eagle.
For more inspiration, log on to stjohnthedivine.com.
New and pre-owned firearms are in stock at Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jacksonville Beach. Want a new sidearm or rifle? Brands like Kimber, Smith & Wesson, 6 Hour, Beretta. No lines, no hassle. Only at Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jacksonville Beach.
Hey, it's Angela and Brian Wall. How many companies do you know in this day and age that actually want their potential customers to call their competition and get quotes from them?
That's what WonderWorld wants you to do. WonderWorld knows there are other window companies out there, but we also know those other guys. When compared to WonderWorld, they can't offer you the quality at the price that WonderWorld can.
And with WonderWorld, you get the absolute best guarantee there is in the window replacement business.
If anything goes wrong with your new WonderWorld windows, 5 years from now, 10, 15, 50, WonderWorld and I will be there to fix it for you. You get peace of mind with WonderWorld, and to top it off, WonderWorld windows increase the value of your home. So look what you get with WonderWorld. Quality windows, low price, the best guarantee in the business, energy savings, and an increase in the value of your home. A win-win for you.
Call Window World today and get your free in-home estimate or see them online at windowworldneflorida.com.
Window World, simply the best for less. Thank you for your business.
Window World also offers energy-efficient doors.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Tonight's show brought to you by Alexander Law Practice. Going to tell you more about them in just a couple of minutes. Josh Allen, Brad Allen. He will have the whistle Sunday at 1. Is it a good or is it a bad thing? It's a worthy conversation because the Zebras come into play far more than they should. I mean, just take a look at some of the games last weekend. Go back to the debacle between Mississippi and Georgia. I mean, the only thing I can think of that was worse than the ending of that game is if your mother-in-law is still with you here after celebrating Christmas and a Happy New Year. It was absolutely awful. And to this day, I feel bad for Mississippi. And boy, was I ever wrong. They have an opportunity to win a national championship. I guess I should have recognized today's football with the transfer portal and the NIL. But if there was ever a time where the officials said, hey, everybody, look at me, it was during that game. Now, Brad Allen did one game this year. It was Jacksonville in Indianapolis, so they won it. But Buffalo has won their last 6 when Brad Allen is the referee. Brad Allen apparently blows the whistle and throws the flag less than the norm. 2.54 fewer penalties a game, 2.5 fewer penalties a game. So that's good news, I would assume, for the Jags, who, of course, had 132 this year, led the NFL, albeit it's been getting better late. They played a clean game 2 days ago. 0 turnovers, 3 total penalties. They were on the offensive side with false starts, which has been problematic all season long. The Jaguars are 6-8 lifetime when it comes to Brad Allen. Just something to acknowledge, just something to take in to consideration. Again, listening to the Bills media, you would think that they're, taking on Reigns. You would think that they're taking on Bowles. It's unbelievable the way that they are acting, and I get it. They won last year 47-10, and I was at that game in Buffalo. And that was arguably the point of the year where the entire organization should have been bowled over by a bulldozer, right? I mean, they quit. They quit in that game against Buffalo, if you remember. So that's what they're thinking. That's what the media is thinking. Obviously, that's what Bills Mafia is thinking. It doesn't matter. It comes down to what the players are thinking. Josh Allen's not 100%. He took one snap to continue his consecutive start streak, and then he waltzed off the field, if you want to be one of those who criticizes that, that's fine. But remember, they brought Trevor Lawrence back out so he could throw for 4,000 yards, and Trevor took 2 hits. And I get it. I mean, Trevor needed an incentive, right? He needed a little extra pocket cash for 2026. But just out of all of everything that has been overboard with positivity, can you imagine if he went down during that particular moment in the football game? It's scary. It is to think about. But anyway, that is the situation. All right. It's really interesting to me, and this is what I'm going to ask Mark Duffner about as he gets set to join us here in about 7 minutes. To me, it comes down to 2 things. This is the way that you figure out whether or not Jacksonville is victorious on Sunday. Number 1, are the Jaguars a one-dimensional football team? Can Jacksonville run the football? Buffalo media is ramming down their fans' throat that Jacksonville only gets 2.1 yards after contact, that Jacksonville's missed tackle rate is 17.6%, 23rd in the NFL. For what it's worth, Travis Etienne had 45 missed tackles. Defenders missed him 45 times this year. The explosive play rate is 9.7%, which is 25. I don't think anyone really looked at Jacksonville and thought when it came to running the football that they would be an explosive bunch. I think it was 1st and 10, 2nd and 6, 3rd and 2, first down type of deal if you were to line up and run. Not explosive plays. They did have 26 runs of 10 or more. So that is encouraging. What is realistic is that the Jaguars right now, when it comes to rushing the football, they are 15th in the NFL. They're getting 115 yards a game. You look at Buffalo. Outside of the turnover takeaway ratio, which is a bit of a concern in Buffalo, they're only +1. You compare that to the Jaguars with their 22 interceptions. The Jaguars have been among league leaders the entire year. They're +13. It could come down to that. That could be the difference in the game. A huge takeaway late. We just discussed the fact that it was a clean game a couple of minutes ago where Jacksonville did not have a turnover in their victory on Sunday. Still, you look at Buffalo defensively, their biggest problem, they can't stop the run. 136.2 yards a game. They are 28th in the NFL when it comes to stopping the run. They are 30th in the NFL if you look at average per carry allowed, 5.1 yards. Can Jacksonville play big boy football and punch Buffalo in the mouth and run the football? That is the biggest issue that I have in this game. Number 2, and I'll support this with some numbers after Mark Duffner, can they rush the passer? They've been fairly effective with pressures. They've been very effective, not necessarily statistically speaking, with pressures. But quarterbacks, opposing quarterbacks, have gotten rid of the ball faster than most. And particularly when Jacksonville does blitz, they're actually number 2 in the NFL at forcing their opponent and the quarterback to throw the football sooner than he would like. Again, these are kind of disguised numbers. You really got to look for them. And they're out there. And I'm going to ask Mark Duffner about that right now, what he believes Jacksonville is going to be able to do. So that's my look at this football game. Everyone's going to say Buffalo's top rushing offense against Jacksonville's top rushing defense. I'm going the other way here. I'm wondering, can Jacksonville avoid being one-dimensional? You know they're going to put the extra man in the box. You know they're going to say, once again, Trevor Lawrence, you're going to have to beat us. We're going to contain Etienne. And I say we, speaking of Buffalo, I'm not one of them in the media, even though maybe I've translated that. That was not a Freudian slip. That was not just an ignorant mistake. I was saying that as like a member of the Buffalo Bills staff. Every once in a while, you can do that in this job. You can. I hope you know the difference. If not, light me up. 641-1010 text line. Again, you can also get us on YouTube. Just go to 1010XL into the night. All right. Show brought to you by the Alexander Law Practice. Rick Alexander's been doing this forever. And you know what? He keeps his number of cases in his practice small so that he can get personally involved in every case. Now, he's got a wonderful staff. Got some great lawyers over there practicing. But that's the way that Rick Alexander wants to go about his law firm. He's involved in every single case. So if you've been personally injured, if you're up against it right now, you believe you're all alone, you have a car that's totaled, you may be injured, you may need to see a doctor, you may need to see a physical therapist. These are the type of questions that you ask. And then Rick Alexander and company, they're going to put together a very caring package for you. Any question is a good question. Call 400-6600. It's a free consultation. And tell Rick Alexander everything that has happened to you. You may have a new vehicle set up in a day or two. You may be on your way to the doctor by the end of the week. And again, you'll never come out of pocket. All of that will happen at the very end once the case is settled. Go to alexanderlawpractice.com or give them a call at the Alexander Law Practice, 400-6600.
Streaming live from the XL Digital Studios. Polished by Harbor Dental Care, the locally owned smile restoration experts.
DivorceMenOnly.com. This is Kenny Lay of Kenny Lay & Associates. Our firm specializes in representing men in family law. That's all we do. That's our only focus. We can help with all of your family law needs, such as divorce, custody, alimony, and child support. For over a decade, we have helped thousands of men with these types of issues. We even have an appellate division ready to challenge a judge's ruling. If you need a family law attorney, go to DivorceMenOnly.com. DivorceMenOnly.com. Offices, Jacksonville.
PRP treatment is kind of the thing these days, and in many cases, it eliminates the need for surgery. This is Sheridan Tootin, and my experience with PRP from Southeast Orthopedic Specialist has been nothing short of great. I'm really feeling much better now. Ask your Southeast Orthopedic Specialist doctor about PRP treatment.
This is Dr. Kevin Murphy with Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, where athletes are treated like pros.
Relieve pain and get back to life. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Make Capital Glass and Shower Doors your premier choice for top quality glass solutions. With over 40 years of expertise, their team specializes in commercial and residential projects. From elegant shower doors to modern frameless enclosures, they've got you covered. But that's not all. They also offer glass railing systems, glass wine cabinets, and much more. For unmatched quality and service, choose Capital Glass and Shower Doors. Your vision, their expertise. Online at capcoglass.com.
Checkmate.
I'm Brendan Cecilia, founder of Checkmate Coatings.
And I'm Chester, adorable mascot for Checkmate Coatings.
If you're thinking of refinishing your garage floor, there's two things you need to know about us. My family has been in the concrete coatings industry for more than 40 years.
And I was drawn 6 months ago by an artist in New Jersey.
Why is that even relevant?
Well, you said 40 years experience, so I had to give them something.
Over the years, we've worked closely with major manufacturers to develop a multi-layer application process that creates beautiful, durable, and long-lasting floors.
So even decades from now, your garage floor will look as gorgeous as it did the day it was installed.
Experience?
Check. Durable?
Check. Decades of experience making garage floors gorgeous? Checkmate.
Transforming your floors, making them great. Checkmate.
Visit CheckmateCoatings.com. That's CheckmateCoatings.com.
The best wings in town are coming to River City Marketplace. Leon Searcy here. Wingstop is opening another North Jacksonville location soon at the end of December. You always get fresh, made-to-order wings in 11 flavors, including original, hot, garlic parm, and of course, lemon pepper. Wingstop now has 18 locations in Jacksonville, always open until 1 a.m. So skip the wait and order your wings online at wingstop.com and swing by to pick up at the brand new Wingstop location in River City Marketplace.
It's January in Jacksonville, so you turn on the shower knob expecting hot water. It comes up cold. That's a tough loss to start the day, but Duck Duck Rooter is here to turn things around with the new year, new water heater promotion. Duck Duck Rooter makes replacing that old water heater a winning play. Right now, get a new water heater installed for just $14.99 on select models with standard installation. Call now to schedule your free estimate and take the cold shower off the scoreboard. 904-862-6769 or duckduckrooter.com.
New year, new club. This is Joe C., and I'm proud to be a member of Southampton. And with the popularity of golf, getting a tee time is tough. But with membership comes member privileges. Enjoy clubhouse dining, expanded practice area, focusing on all parts of your game. And right now, you can join with an annual commitment and get a $1,000 discount, plus $500 of Pro Shop credit. All the details are online at golfsouthampton.com or call 287-PLAY and make a tee time today at the Golf Club of Southampton.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch. Here's another call on the 1010XL hotline, driven by Key Buick GMC, home of the lifetime powertrain warranty.
Jacksonville has won 8 in a row. The Buffalo Bills have not won a playoff game on the road since 1992. Let's bring in Mark Duffner, 50 years in the NFL and college football as a coach, and he joins us here quite a bit on 92.5 FM. Mark, always a lot of fun. How you been?
I'm doing great, Rick. It's a pleasure to be with you, and it's a pleasure to be part of the AFC South champions.
Yeah, no doubt about it. The the card of the lack of respect has been something that this football team has used, and it's worked for them on a week-to-week basis. I think nationally you're beginning to get some. And, people are now coming out of the woodwork saying this team is alive, this team is real. But let me tell you, the tone right now in Buffalo is the exact opposite. They remember last year's 47-10 victory over the Jaguars. Mark, I don't think there's a member of the media there or a fan who thinks that they are going to lose that game Sunday here in Duval.
Well, that's exactly what we want them thinking. There's no question about that. I hope our team, and I love the attitude that this team has developed as the year is going on, and they've got a little chip on their shoulder, and they know that they've got something to prove, and they've kept the focus on our team, on themselves right now, not worrying about the outside noise. And I think if they keep that going, it'll bode well against the team that may come in here a little fat and happy.
Yeah, I've got a lot of really good things to say about the Jaguars. I know you do as well. But let's go to the other side here, Coach. What's the biggest concern that you have for Jacksonville as they move closer to this game Sunday at 1?
I to be frank, I don't have a lot of concerns right now. What I'll say first that I think that, again, the progress, the learning, the understanding that this team has developed during the course of the year as they've faced tough situations and issues that they had to correct, they have done that. I have confidence in that part of it. I have confidence in their focus. I think the job that the medical staff, the training staff, our doctors for the Jaguars have done to keep this team healthy and get them back on the field has been exceptional. And so I think there's a lot of things going in the right place. Now, this is a formidable team we're going to play without a doubt, and one that has playoff experience. We know that you just mentioned. They haven't won on the road. The last 3 times they've come to Jacksonville, they have lost also. That's all in the past. It's what's going on right now, but some of that is still lingering, I think, in some of these players. I was pleased. I didn't know. Maybe you knew this, but we have 31 players on our team that have some postseason experience. And I think that's going to bode well as we move forward because, Rick, as you know, everything kind of spikes up a little bit once you get into the playoffs. You work all year to get to it, and now you want to, you don't want to go home. You want to continue to play. And, geez, I can't think of a better place to play than Everbank Stadium at 1 o'clock on Sunday, and the place should be rocking.
Yeah, no doubt about it. 31 players with playoff experience. That does include 3 former Buffalo Bills. The whole analytics part of this is still fascinating to me. I look at it. Some I get. Some is just very bizarre. But, I listened to some stuff coming out of Buffalo today, and they're talking about, the 12 personnel. Jacksonville's terrible against the tight end. It forces them to play man coverage and it gets away from zone. So I checked things here, and it's the exact opposite. Jacksonville is actually better against the run at 3.1 yards allowed compared to 3.9 overall in a 12 personnel. I guess the problem would be one of those two tight ends can get open. Jacksonville has struggled covering tight ends this year.
Well, and that's, I got that. So have they. Even though they're pretty darn good against the pass, they've struggled too. And I like our chances with the way Strange is playing right now. But yeah, I mean, I'm not. There's a lot of information flying out there. I'm more interested in what is accurate information, just as you are. And what I will say that this team, no matter what, they've played some pretty good players and some pretty good backs. They lead the league, as you mentioned, in rush defense. No running back's gotten over 75 yards all season long. That's incredible. Now, we're going to play the guy that's the league leader as far as that's concerned. But some other, as far as Cooks is concerned, I mean, a heck of a good back, a guy that can make speed cuts like nobody. I mean, he's awfully good. However, they just came out of a game against the Eagles that I watched pretty closely, and I'm sure our staff's looking at, where the Eagles controlled the line of scrimmage. I mean, they had 120 yards in that game, 3.6 a carry. Mm-hmm. That's the least they've had since week one, and they only had one run over 12 yards when they had 16 in the week before, 16 in the previous 4 weeks. So, they're coming off of a game where they had to come from behind to win, which they do well, but they struggled to get the ball going the way they'd like. The quarterback was gimpy in the game. Josh Allen still favoring a right foot injury that I think has hurt him a little bit in both in his footwork and also his ability to extend plays. Now, he can still do it. He's as good as anybody, but I think a lot of those things are certainly trending in our favor. The other thing that is great to note is that our team has gotten 14 takeaways in the fourth quarter this season. That is the best in the NFL. Okay, and they've also, since week 11, forced the lowest passer rating in the league in terms of the opponent's quarterback since week 11. So I like where we're trending right now against a team that certainly comes in here with an outstanding running game, the best back in the league, but they're going to line up against the best run-stopping defense in the league, too. And then the other thing I would say, too, they are anywhere from 28th to 30th in the league stopping the run, so I think that bodes well for us getting our run game off the ground.
Yeah, something's got to give. It's the top rushing offense against the top rushing defense, and on the flip side, Jacksonville down a little bit when it comes to running the ball this year. And again, Buffalo, that's their worst statistical category. They cannot stop the run. Mark Duffner, our guest, he joins Rick Ballou right here on your home of the Jags, 92.5 FM. We're sitting next to each other in the press box a couple of days ago watching this game, and we begin to notice a little bit more movement along that defensive line. There were times where Walker was at the right defensive position, which is rare. Him also moving to the same side, inside of Josh Hines Allen, and the results on 18 dropbacks this year have been very productive. What's your overall thought on this, and how does that change Buffalo's view of what Jacksonville could show them during this game?
Well, it shows first and foremost that Anthony and the defensive staff, Anthony Campanile and the defensive staff, are going to try to take advantage of the scheme of your protection and also the personnel of your protection. They're going to try to attack your protection, how you protect, you slide protect, you turn back, whatever the case may be, and then they're going to look at the personnel that they can overload. And that's why I think it's been excellent what you just commented on and picked up on is how they've utilized Walker, not only as an edge guy, but also inside where he can make hay on the interior. And that's really where, to be frank, when you looked at the game against the Eagles sacked him 5 times, sacked the quarterback Allen 5 times in the game, and they really worked over those guards inside in particular. I mean, Dawkins, the left tackle, is a heck of a good player, but they worked on the center and the guards for Buffalo, and I see, a lot of that possibly going into the game plan as Anthony puts it together with what you've just talked about, kind of an overload and placement of Walker in positions to try to take advantage of their weaknesses.
Yeah. One thing that I've always harped on is starting fast, and this team did not again. They actually had negative yards in their first possession. So you just look at the last 2 weeks. They're down 7-0. They're down 10-0 a week ago on the road. They've been able to come from behind. I want to say they're 6-1 this year. When they were trailing in the first quarter, they've come back and won 6 of those games. So that's another positive that you can take with you. Maybe some former teams, if they were down, although I guess their last playoff game here, they were down 27-0. And came back. But just as a staff and as a member of the team, how important is that to know that, hey, if you go down early, this team has the ability to come back?
Well, I think it's huge, Rick. I think that's what I mean by the maturity and the development of this team as the season's gone on. They've met different types of adversity, whether it be injuries, whether it be scores, whether it be slow starts, whether it be penalties. And they've been able to really come back and overcome those. And so I think the confidence that they've gained, not from talking about it, but from actually doing it and recovering from these tougher situations that you don't like to have, I think has been priceless. And we're going to need that in this ball game here. This team in particular, the Bills right now, they are a double-digit comeback team. There's 4 games, Baltimore, Cincinnati, New England, Philadelphia, where they came from behind from as many as 21 points to win the game. And they actually lost the Philadelphia game because they went for 2, but they came back in the second half. And that's the other point. They're a second-half team. They do a good job of making adjustments at halftime, as the Jaguars have, but their point differential in the first half is like minus 32 points. They're like 24th in the league. They're behind. Well, at halftime, they've made good enough adjustments that they're plus 109 points, and that makes them number 1 in the league in the second half differential of points. So they do a good job of adjustments. We're going to have to be on our toes for a 60-minute effort. Don't think that if we either get behind, which we've been able to come back from, or if we get ahead of them right now, that this thing is going to be in our pocket. You're going to have to play to the last snap against this ball club, I'm sure.
All right, it's the top 4 offense in Buffalo against the top 6 offense in Jacksonville. The Jaguars also have the 8th-ranked scoring defense in the NFL. So leave us with this, Mark. What do you see Sunday? What type of game? How do you think it's all going to turn out?
Well, I think it's going to be obviously it's going to be a very physical game. I think it's going to be a game that's going to be won in the trenches. Whoever dominates the line of scrimmage, and that's kind of an overused statement, but in this particular game, the way these teams stack up statistically and personnel-wise, I think it's real evident that it's going to be that type of a ball game. We have to stop their run, and we've got to be patient to stop it because this guy is an explosive back. I mean, the stats say it. So we're going to have to be on our toes and tackle and be in good run fits and gap integrity to get that done. We've got to win the early down, Rick. And what I mean by that is first down. Yeah. He's been a good third down guy. They're ranked in the league 3rd, I think 4th in the league as far as third down efficiency. So we got to get them off track with good first and second down defense where they run the ball better than and more than anybody else in the league. So stopping the run game, winning the early downs, being patient, stopping the run game, knowing that they may break one. Just continue to don't allow the explosives as far as that's concerned, and then be ready to play a 60-minute game because of their ability to come back in the second half. You mentioned it earlier that we're ranked, I think, maybe 8th in scoring offense and defense. We're ranked in the top 8 in the league in scoring offense and defense. Right. Where a year ago, I mentioned that to you on Sunday. Hell, we were in the 28s and 29s in terms of that. What a tremendous turnaround! Oh, it's crazy. That's a great. Yeah. Frankly, I've never seen a team have both sides of the ball improve that incrementally. It's amazing. And then when you look at the success of our special teams and what a Little's doing, what the punter's doing, how we fixed up our coverage, kickoff coverage, and so forth. I really like where our team is trending. I hope they stay greedy in terms of liking the way it's felt to win, to work like crazy to get into the playoffs, which are hard to do. People don't understand. It's hard to get there. And now we want to stay there and compete like crazy for the whole thing, taking it one at a time against Buffalo.
That is Mark Duffner, former linebackers coach right here in Jacksonville. Spent 50 years in the NFL and in college football as a coach, and joins us here quite a bit on 92.5 FM with Rick Ballou. Mark, always a lot of fun. We'll see you over there on Sunday. Thank you.
Thank you, Rick. I appreciate it. And what you're providing, as I say every week, to these fans in terms of information and ideas and thoughts and true info is terrific. So appreciate what you do.
Thank you, Mark. That means a lot. And you look at that third down conversion rate, Jacksonville struggled this year. They're 19th, 39.1%. Last year, Liam Cohen was number one in Tampa Bay at 50.7. You just heard him talk about Buffalo. May not seem like a lot going from 39.1% to Buffalo's 44.7%. Well, how about looking at it this way? Jacksonville's 19th, Buffalo's 4th, okay? So it does mean a whole heck of a lot. And, even in the victory, a blowout victory, Jacksonville was 4 of 9 on third down. That has been one statistical category that has really surprised me so far this year, that and the lack of the screen game, which I still believe could be a big part of this thing, even as early as Sunday. All right, we got much more to do. It's good to have you with us. He's still in Denmark. My name is Rick Ballou. We call it Into the Night.
Yo, it's your main man E.T. here for Blue Chew. And guess what? Blue Chew tablet isn't just a tablet. It's a cheat code. Blue Chews provide access to chewable tablets that help you feel and perform at your best. Stronger, longer. It's like someone gave you downstairs a pep talk and a gym membership. No awkward doctor visits, and no uncomfortable waiting rooms. It's nothing worse when them nosy behind neighbors are looking at your packages and then asking you questions. Don't worry about it, sweetheart. I got this. Blue Chew is simple. It's discreet and delivered straight to your door. And let's be honest, this isn't just for you. Give her group chat something to talk about. Nothing makes you more of a legend than a little Blue Chew. And guess what? I got a special deal for our listeners. Get your first month of Blue Chew on me. That's right. Just use promo code 1010XL and you pay $5 shipping. That's it. Head over to BlueChew.com for details and safety info. Use the code 1010XL, then just chew it and do it.
When it comes to glass, you don't want average. You want flawless. Duval Glass and Mirror has transformed homes and businesses across Jacksonville for over 35 years. Frameless showers that wow. Mirrors cut exactly to your style. Fogged or broken glass replaced. Decorative tabletops. Windows replaced or repaired to stand up to Florida storms. All backed by a 100% guarantee. Visit DuvalGlass.com for your free quote. There's only one name for glass and mirror around these parts. It's Duval. You like winning? This is former Jaguar linebacker Tom McManus, and I'm excited to introduce you to J-Dog Junk Removal and Hauling of Greater Jacksonville. If you're a property manager, contractor, builder, realtor, or homeowner, get that feeling of success with less stress. I've used them. My friends have used them. So get your free junk removal and hauling estimate today. Now, I call that a win. Veteran-owned and operated J-Dog Junk Removal and Hauling. Call 506-1256. We haul it all.
Have you got concrete or asphalt rubble piling up? Arcosa Crushed Concrete will pay you for it and recycle it. They're just minutes from Everbank Stadium on Talleyrand. Call Arcosa Crushed Concrete and get paid for what you don't need. ArcosaCrushedConcrete.com.
Hey folks, Mike Dempsey here for Dandy Foods, a Jacksonville family business for nearly 70 years. Heck, I've been talking about them for over a decade. The Thompson family secret, Dandy is never frozen. Always fresh baked bread with quality meats and cheeses. No dry, crumbly subs here, only soft and tasty deliciousness. When I see that logo with the little guy with the cane on the label, it tells me I'm getting a trusted brand and a quality sandwich. So do what I do, stop in at a Circle K and make yours a Dandy today.
I'm Clayton Bromberg, the chairman of Underwoods. With Christmas behind us in 2026 here, the last thing you want to hear is somebody trying to sell you something. That's why at Underwoods, we'd like to stop and just say thank you to all the people that came in our stores over the last year. Whether you bought from us or not, we want to thank you for coming in and giving us the chance to help. You see, in North Florida, there are a lot of people trying to sell you jewelry, But at Underwoods, we consider it an honor for somebody to come in and just give us that chance to help. And if we do a good job, we might get a chance to serve again. Having served North Florida since 1928, all of us here understand what a customer really gives us during that visit to Underwoods, their trust. And it's up to us to do everything we can to keep it. So on behalf of everybody on the Underwood team, thanks again for coming into our stores, and we wish each of you a Happy New Year.
Ready to race, Jacksonville? Indoor racing anytime at K1 Speed. Fast electric karts, real competition, and family fun. Buy 2 races, get 1 free every Tuesday. Cruise over to K1 Speed Jacksonville today, your top destination for indoor racing.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting injury report tomorrow, particularly coming out of Buffalo on the defensive side. They're already going to be without rookie corner Maxwell Harrison. He has been ruled out by Sean McDermott. Matt Prater leave with a right quad injury. I want to say he's the oldest player in the league, not named Phillip Rivers. Josh Allen took the 1 snap, and then they rested him because of the foot. But you look at Joey Bosa, Daquan Jones on that defensive line, middle linebacker Terrell Bernard, starting safety Jordan Poyer. I mean, they're all nicked up, all listed as questionable right now, and that's unofficial because the report does not come out, as we know, until tomorrow. That'll include the Jags as well. I think even with Patrick McCarry, if he's able to come back, I think they're going to stay with that offensive line. It's working right now. Cole Van Lannon, favored, I think it was the left leg early, and then he went out a little bit late, but he was saying in the locker room after the game he's good to go. We saw Parker go down for a little bit. We saw Brian Thomas Jr. had a concussion evaluation, which he passed. So it's going to be a hard-hitting game. I don't think there's any doubt about that. You surprised that John Harbaugh and the Baltimore Ravens are done?
A little bit.
Me too.
I kind of thought the loser of the game Sunday night, they were going to mutually part ways. Thought more of Tomlin was going to lose. Kind of like we talked about the other day, sometimes you stay at a place so long, kind of get stale, and both parties need a refresh. I think both the Ravens and Steelers kind of have reached that point, and the Ravens have kind of hit that point first.
A lot of listeners have been saying that to me. It's time to hit the bricks. But, hey, you think I'm kidding? Actually, I am kidding. Everyone out there listening is fully enthralled, right? Andy Reid, 307 as far as wins. Mike Tomlin, 201. Jim Harbaugh is now out with 193. Pete Carroll is now out with 184. Sean Payton has 191 career wins. Pete Carroll, I think that's probably it for the 74-year-old. For Harbaugh, I think he gets another opportunity. He's 10 years younger. And, maybe a year to rest. Not sure. I would love to know what happened here because, again, he is signed through 2028. We told you about the money yesterday for Pete Carroll. It was $44,000 a day, which is just awesome. Can you imagine making $44,000 a day? And that is what Pete Carroll is making ever since he was fired by the Las Vegas Raiders. All right, let's get ready for our second hour. Tons from you coming up in hour number 2. I've asked 2 questions. All right? Are the Jaguars one-dimensional? Can they run the football against a poor Bills defense against the run? Number 2, can they rush the passer? Can they get at Josh Allen on Sunday? I think you feel pretty good, about the rush defense, even though you're taking on the league's leading rusher in Cook, right? I mean, there's no question about it. He's been absolutely outstanding, James Cook has. 1,912 yards from the line of scrimmage, 1,621 rushing. So can they get to the quarterback? Those are my two questions. You can respond to that. 641-1010 text line brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures. Also to those who want to watch on YouTube, go to YouTube, 1010XL Into the Night.
Hey, folks, it's Frank Frangie. All those festive holiday feasts probably have added a few extra pounds, but here's the thing. You can make this the year you finally lose the weight safely and for good. Now, you know by now my daughter Amber kicked off the journey with Awaken 180 weight loss back in the summer. You ready for this? She's lost 100 pounds in 6 months. Man, is she proud of that. 100 pounds. And she really did it with this really, really good plan. There's no shots, no medications, no supplements, just real food and a proven plan. That's right. With Awaken 180, you can still enjoy your favorite food and drink. No more yo-yo diets or feeling deprived. The structured program empowers you to control your eating without hunger. It really is doable. Don't just resolve to make the change. Make the change. Call Awaken 180 today and take that first small step. Book your consultation now, 1-844-346-1800, or visit awaken180weightloss.com. It worked for Amber. It really did. And it can work for you. Awaken 180 weight loss.
Rick Ballou here with a congratulations for John's Auto. They've been in business in Jacksonville for 40 years. That's right, going all the way back to 1985. Right now, they'd like to thank each and every one of you who's ever gotten their vehicle serviced at John's Auto. So, car, truck, or diesel, all makes, all models, whether it's a routine maintenance or a complete engine overhaul, go to John's Auto on Arlington Road, johnautomotivejacks.com.
This Date in Sports History is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On January 6, 1976, millionaire communications executive Ted Turner buys the Atlanta Braves for a reported $10 to $12 million.
Hey, Jacksonville, I'm sure by now you've seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We are an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We are committed to customer service, reliability, and have unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today. GFL, green for life.
The flagship station of the Jacksonville Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Renewal by Anderson is ringing in the new year with a happy renewal year sale. Buy one, get one 40% off all replacement windows and doors. Plus, enjoy 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for 1 year. Renewal by Anderson's Acclaim Impact windows are built for Florida, designed to help you save on energy bills while keeping your home comfortable year-round. Sale ends January 31st. Restrictions apply. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com to schedule your free in-home consultation. License number CGC 1527613. Renewal by Anderson, where comfort meets savings.
I'm here with Danny Van Sickle, Director of the Electrical Training Alliance. Danny, tell me about your program.
Hey, Rick. We're a 4-year electrical apprenticeship. Our students start out making over $40,000 a year, and right now make over $90,000 a year, including benefits. There is no tuition or student debt. You just have to apply and get accepted.
Did you say no tuition and no student debt?
You heard that right, Rick. Once you're accepted to the program, your only cost for the books and the course fees. About $800 a year.
That sounds like an amazing opportunity. How can I learn more?
Just go to etajax.org and you can apply there.
Apply by May 14th.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
You know, just kind of chewing on the numbers here with Buffalo a little bit. I've actually watched them play a lot of football this year. I think most of you fans out there have as well. And, you know, we talked about one of the more promising aspects of this Jaguars team. Offensively, it's not like they have a clear-cut number one, right? If you want to shut down Jacoby Myers, Parker Washington is open. If you want to shut him down, you hope that Brian Thomas Jr. delivers. The return of Brenton Strange has been absolutely enormous. I mean, if you look at the way that the ball was spread out this year, Parker, 58 balls, 847 yards. Thomas Jr., 48 balls, 707 yards. Strange, even though he missed some games, 46 balls, 540 yards. And in 9 games, Myers caught 42 footballs, 483 yards. I love that. And I still think Travis Etienne is a factor catching the ball out of the backfield, not as nearly as many this year as I envisioned. I actually thought it was when it was all said and done, that you're going to have a season where, Travis Etienne had about 60 receptions. He didn't. He ended up with 36. So it was down a little bit. And, I'm sure one of the biggest changes that I believe you'll see from this year to next year is how the screen game does grow. It hasn't been what they expected. All right, the flip side of this, when you get to Buffalo, they're just a bad group. I mean, Keon Coleman's a turd. I was reading an article today out of Buffalo where they say he should not play in this game and he should never play again as a member of the Buffalo Bills. I mean, this kid really screwed it up. He's one of those dudes that, thinks that the earth is flat and that there were no dinosaurs. And I mean, he's just one of those who kind of plays the role of being stupid and acts like it's cute. I almost never heard him talk at Florida State. Maybe that's one of the real good things that Mike Norvell did in his career. He didn't allow Keon Coleman to talk because he just comes across as incredibly immature. 38 balls, 404 yards. You want to stop Buffalo? You got to stop their tight ends. It's all about Kincaid and Knox, 39 and 36 receptions, respectively. And when you look at the Jaguars, they give up 64.4 yards a game against tight ends. That is 7th most in this league. So, Josh Allen will beat you with his feet. He'll beat you with his arm, albeit he doesn't have great downfield targets. I mean, Shakir every once in a while will make a nice play, but still, he only averaged 10 yards a reception. Joshua Palmer, I mean, they've put on the shelf Curtis Samuel is on the shelf. They brought back Gabe Davis. They went out and made a move and brought in Brandon Cooks. I mean, you're talking about wide receivers whose better days are absolutely behind them. So, you look at it, then you say, well, how in the heck are they number 4 in the NFL when it comes to their scoring offense? And that's exactly what they are. They actually score more points a game than Jacksonville does by a couple of percentage points. 28.3 for Buffalo, 27.9 for the Jaguars. But what they do is they absolutely crush you when it comes to running the football. I mean, look at rushing touchdowns this year. James Cook had 12. Josh Allen had 14. That's 26 rushing touchdowns between them. As a team, they had 30 rushing touchdowns. So there's not many teams in the NFL that have more rushing touchdowns than passing touchdowns. And that is actually the case for the Buffalo Bills. So they want to be able to line you up, run right at you. And here's another part of this that I think is really fascinating, Dylan, is that in Buffalo, they barely acknowledge that the Jaguars have the number 1 rushing offense, and they do. They allow 85.6 yards a game. What they are saying is they have the fewest attempts against of any one of the 32 teams in the NFL. If you were to combine the 17 games that the Jaguars played, and you look at the 17 games worth of rushing attempts by your opponent, it is the least amount of any NFL team. I'll admit I did not know that until I read some stuff coming out of Buffalo today. So I'll give them credit for, telling us about that. But boy, man, I've been doing this for a long time. We've talked about rushing offense and rushing defense forever. It's the first time I've ever heard least amount of rushing attempts against.
Yeah, you got to find ways to skew to where it advantages you, especially something like this. We all know what kind of game we're going to see for the most part. Trevor's going to want to throw the rock, and Buffalo's going to probably, not want Jacksonville to run. Something that Jacksonville hasn't done the last 7 weeks, and Buffalo's going to want to run the football and let Josh Allen be Josh Allen. It would be very surprising if one of their receivers goes off like they did, like Gabe Davis in the playoffs a couple of years ago when they played the Chiefs, or any other receiver that's on that team. It feels like, how you mentioned, the tight end Kincaid or Knox is going to be the only one that's really going to give Jacksonville a fit. If you have to say someone's going to go off in that Buffalo offense other than James Cook and Josh Allen.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. It really does. And, I think what's hidden here are two things. And you can use this to make a case for either team. It's why it's such a close line. And, we'll see if it moves at all. The total's moved up. It remains at 1.5. I thought a little bit of that was some baiting. I just think Buffalo is a more of a public team that people across the country are going to look at Buffalo and say, all right, let's take Buffalo. Again, there's still those who, for one reason or another, even though more and more are coming on board, just not completely aware of what Jacksonville has done. So I wondered if that was made in that particular fashion. But in 8 games here, forget about London. And you could tell me it's a home game. You could try to sell me on the fact that it's a home game. It takes about 3 days to get there. What is it, 50,000 miles away? It's not a home game. Trust me, I've been over there 7 times. It's not a home game. Jacksonville 7-1 here. Jacksonville's difference in game, points scored, points allowed, here, 15.8. Think about that. They beat opponents by an average of 16 a game. Now, again, you look at the Buffalo media, and I'm giving a little bit too much credit to the Buffalo media, but I'm doing it for a reason. Okay, number one, I spent a lot of time today listening to them and preparing because I figured I'd grab a nugget here and a nugget there. But you have to understand that what I'm doing is looking at this game completely from every angle, giving you what I think are the major bullet points, which are the major ways that you can win this game or lose this game. We're in Buffalo, all right? Again, they're acting like they're coming down here to play Bowles High School. And the 8-game win streak, this is what one hammerhead was saying today. Yeah, they won 8 in a row, but they faced Jacoby Brissett, who threw for 300-plus yards. They faced Cam Ward twice, knocked him out of the game, right? We saw that happen when he scored the touchdown. Brandon Allen became the quarterback. They faced Brady Cook. They faced Riley Leonard. They faced a 44-year-old Phillip Rivers. And then they'll slide it. Well, they did face Bo Nix, who threw for 300-plus yards. Okay, but understand what I'm saying? They are presenting this as if it's no big deal at all. They don't even understand the fact that they haven't won on the road. They can't win on the road in the month of January. McDermott's never gotten it done. Allen has never gotten it done. The one thing that they have that you really have to hold on to, and this is a concern, and Mark Duffner mentioned it about 15 minutes ago, Buffalo is like Jacksonville. They've come from behind often this year. Last 2 games, Jacksonville down 7-0, 2 weeks ago down 10-0. They came back and made it a rout. All right. They were down at Foxborough, 21-0. Remember that, Dylan? We talked about it that much. I mean, here's the difference between us and them. There's no way you cannot acknowledge that. There's no way that you cannot come out and say, wow. Now, that's impressive to be down 21-0, come from behind, and knock off the Patriots with the memory still of Houston. That is scary.
Yeah, and I can also add Buffalo was down, was it 13-0 against the Eagles a couple weeks ago. And it was like Buffalo can't do anything, and then the fourth quarter comes, and then all of a sudden they have life, and they almost win that game. And that's, kind of the boogeyman of Josh Allen. Even if Jacksonville is up 14 or 17 points in the fourth quarter and Buffalo has the ball to start the fourth quarter, you still think in the back of your mind Buffalo can come back just because of Josh Allen.
Remember watching their game in Atlanta. It was probably their worst game of the year. Atlanta pounded them 24-14, but that score was a little bit misleading. If you look at good football teams, if you look at playoff football teams, okay, I'm going to consider Baltimore still a playoff football team. They came a missed field goal away from going in. They beat them 41-40, right? They lost to New England the first time, 23-20. Kansas City, I'm still going to consider them a playoff team. It's actually a pretty good rivalry going on right now. They beat Kansas City 28-21. Tampa Bay left at the altar. Okay, they beat them 44-32. They lost to Houston 23-19. At Houston. We know what Jacksonville did at Houston. What many forget is that this football team also put up 29 points. What a lot of people forget, if you didn't have that stupid penalty on Chuma Edoga, hands to the face, all of a sudden you call in the nuclear weapon. Cam Little indoors for a game-winning field goal opportunity. All right? And what has he made now? 21 out of his last 21? The kid is absolutely insane. They go to Pittsburgh. They win 26-7. All right? It's a good football team. Again, they were down 21-0 in New England. They come back, they win 35-31. And then Philadelphia, they lost by a point the other day. We know about that. And, going for 2 and everything else. But you need 60. You need that clock to tick away for 60 minutes. There's no way that you can just dismiss Buffalo, and I don't think any of you out there will. We're just being fair about it, looking at it this way. And again, I'm making a big deal about the way they're acting about it in Buffalo. I don't think it means squat to the team. I think that is a tournament worthy team that has been in it for years. They win at home, they lose on the road. It's as simple as that. Okay? But I think the message that all you got to do is show up and win, that is being sent by Bills Mafia and Bills media, some of it pseudo media, is quite hilarious, in my opinion. They're just ignoring some of the major factors that play into this football game. So there you have it. That's Buffalo. And again, I'm sure the one thing that they just cannot get past is what they watched there a year ago when they made the Jaguars quit. This is a totally different Jaguars team. They pounded Jacksonville 47-10. And I'm sure that's what's there. And that's why they're going with what they're doing at this particular time, which I think only helps Jacksonville. They've been able to understand how to use that. You don't want to hear what Stephen Smith said. Stephen A. Smith said Jaguars to the Super Bowl. David Portnoy today. I mean, you got national guys now that are starting to pop off and say, keep an eye on Jacksonville. You don't want any of that. You want what Buffalo is doing, the Buffalo media is doing, making it seem like the Jags have no chance at all.
Some people just can't get enough football.
Could we cut to the chase?
It's the Terminix Kickoff Show, live from Tailgaters Parking, 5 hours before kickoff. Presented by Campione Law and American Electrical Contracting on 1010XL.
Do you have numbness and tingling in your fingers, or wake up at night and have to shake your hand? Hi, I'm Dr. George Bari, and at Bari Orthopedics, we have a myriad of treatments that can possibly help you. If you have numbness and tingling, you may have carpal tunnel. We have cortisone injections, PRP injections, and shockwave therapy that may help treat the numbness and tingling that you have. We also treat it surgically with endoscopic carpal tunnel release, a 2-centimeter incision that will release the nerve and have you back at work and doing what you want to do in life in no time. If you have numbness and tingling in your hand, give us a call at Bari Orthopedics or log on at bariorthopedics.com.
Looking for a dealership that treats you like family? Come to Key Buick GMC, proudly family owned and operated since 1943. Come see why they are North Florida's new and pre-owned truck center, conveniently located on Southside and JTB, just minutes from the St. John's Town Center. At Key Buick GMC, every new vehicle comes with their lifetime powertrain warranty. Key Buick GMC, where tradition meets trust. Online at keybuickgmc.com. Lifetime powertrain warranty covers engine, transmission, drivetrain only. Exclusions apply. See dealer for details. details.
Cooking with Prisco.
These things are wonderful. You're going to love it. Have a rollie.
Catch CBS Sports senior NFL writer Pete Prisco every Friday afternoon on The Franchi Show. Brought to you by Showtime Sports Cards and Collectibles on 1010XL.
This is the kind of sandwich you don't rush. French dip at Firehouse Subs. Premium roast beef loaded with caramelized onions, melted provolone cheese, and topped with Italian seasoning. Stacked on a toasted garlic bread roll with hot au jus for dipping. For a limited time at Firehouse Subs.
Ticket here for Action Garage Door. Nothing more frustrating than your garage door misfiring. When it does, I call Action Garage Door. They take action. Jeff and Art and crew, Jacksonville folks, not some big out-of-town chain. Something goes wrong with your garage door, take action. Check them out. Garage Door 911, garagedoor911.com.
When plumbing problems strike, don't settle for just any plumber. Make the superior choice with Superior Plumbing and Pipeline. We don't just fix leaks, we fix them right. With honesty, fair pricing, and innovative solutions that can save you thousands. From camera inspections of your pipes to trenchless pipelining that repairs cast iron pipes without tearing up your yard. We go way beyond the drip and clog at Superior Plumbing and Pipeline. No gimmicks, no upsells, just superior service every time. Make the superior choice. Learn more at superiorplumbingjacks.com.
The best financial move you can make this time of year? How about lowering your mortgage rate to 4.99% fixed APR, the lowest rate in years? How about getting up to $500,000 out of your home equity in the process? You can do it now by calling Loan Pronto. Hey, it's Prosser here, and with Loan Pronto's Rapid Equity Loan, you can get a ton of cash, pay off all those high-interest credit cards, and skip up to 2 house payments. One homeowner just got $300,000 approved in under 24 hours. Wiped out their credit cards and 2 car loans, saved $2,100 a month. So don't wait. No hard credit pull up front, and you probably won't even need an appraisal. Just fast, easy cash from your home's equity. Act now. Call 904-999-1508 or go to loanpronto.com. Start the new year by wiping out your high-interest debt. 904-999-1508. And you can see how much cash you can get today. That's loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, APR for well-qualified buyers. Visit NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
Julington Creek Pest Control has been serving our community since 1984. Our turf management program is an all-out blitz, granular fertilization, weed and insect control, keeping your lawn championship green all year. Quarterly pest control stops bugs before they ever cross your goal line. Family owned, locally operated, expert technicians, top quality products, no gimmicks, just winning results. Julington Creek Pest Control, our family serving yours since 1984.
What NFL quarterback connected on TD passes with 98 different players during his career?
For over 20 years, Southern Oak Insurance has given Floridians a better alternative to their current homeowners policy. See what you can get with Southern Oak. Log on to southernoak.com.
Our family protecting yours. Southern Oak Insurance.
Tom Brady threw 105 touchdown passes to Rob Gronkowski, but there are 97 other players who caught at least one.
Southern Oak Insurance, our family protecting yours.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
All right, let's get you involved with the show. 641-1010, best way to do it. Text line, brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures. Also tonight on YouTube. Go to 1010XL. Into the Night. 0148, Blue is a Jags fan. How can anyone consider the idea of firing a coach with a couple of Super Bowl rings and has many playoff appearances? Mike Tomlin is one of the best head coaches in the NFL. He hasn't won a playoff game since 2016. That's what's hurting Mike Tomlin. And John Harbaugh has won a playoff game since 2016. I think every once in a while there's just time for a new voice. And the difference between Baltimore and Pittsburgh is significant. Pittsburgh is incredibly loyal. They've only had 3 coaches in their history. If you go back to Chuck Noll, Bill Cowher, and Mike Tomlin. Tomlin back in the playoffs, and they're actually a dog. One of 4 home dogs in the 6 games that are being played this weekend. 43-76, Blue. Antonio Johnson, Devin got a keys to the game. Linebacker and safety is going to win this game. Well, they have 5 interceptions apiece. Love that, right? But I get where you're going. They're going to feature those 2 tight ends. No question about it. Knox and Kincaid. That is where they're going to go. 5 touchdowns, 4 touchdowns, respectively. 39 receptions by Kincaid, 36 by Knox. The Jaguars allow 64.4 yards against tight ends. I love their matchup against these wide receivers. I do. I'm Shakir, Cooks, and Palmer, Gabe Davis, Keon Coleman. I love it. Buffalo beat you by being able to put together a balanced attack, running it with Cook, running it with Allen. As we said earlier, they have 26 combined rushing touchdowns on the season, which is, just absolutely spectacular, and hitting the tight ends. There it is. Josh Allen, 579 yards rushing. Crying out loud, man. 112 carries. How many of those were first downs? 46 of the 112 were first downs.
How many of those were sneaks? You got to think like the yards per carry.
Yeah.
Because, they like to do that being on the 1 yard line, their version of the tush push.
5.2, the exact same as James Cook. Let's look at Trevor, how many first downs he picked up, because it just feels like the eye test. This was Trevor's best year, even if it wasn't statistically speaking, when it came to rushing the football. Let's see, Lawrence, 82 for 359. He gave you 4 a carry. In those 82 carries, he picked up 40 first downs. I tend to agree with what you're saying here with Devin Lloyd and Antonio Johnson. 49-90, no S-bomb. An expletive has been fired. Fewest rushing attempts against a defense that doesn't let you rush against them. He goes with an LMAO. Yeah, no doubt. And again, this is Bills media in what they're bringing up. The other point that I think indirectly he was trying to make, he just didn't say it, is that Jacksonville's been cleaning the clock out of their opponents, forcing them to become one-dimensional in the second half. Hey, that's the goal. Okay? Nothing wrong with saying it that way. 39-52. But I'm getting real tired of these moronic Patriot and Bills fans talking about the Jags only have 3 fans, blah, blah, blah. Come on, the ladies just try. Yeah, it's really bad, but Buffalo represents. They're going to have a ton of fans here. And it would have been the same deal if they went to Miami. It would have been the same deal if they went to Houston. Be the same deal if they went to Denver and New England. Buffalo finds their way inside the turnstiles. They are a great fan base. They've got, kind of the Nebraska. Although I think that's still Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh travels. We know why Pittsburgh travels. When they shut down the steel mills, they all moved to other parts of the country. The Buffalo Bills is a very good fan base. No question about that. 88-10. Bro, you're trying to stir stuff up. No one is looking at last year. That has anything to do with Sunday. Buffalo's looking at as the Jags have no chance. No one in the media market is saying that. Truth teller, not tonight. Disappointing. I totally disagree. I'm not making stuff up, bro. Okay? Oh, you say I'm trying to stir stuff up. Okay. There are times where I try to stir stuff up. I'm not going to walk away from that. This isn't the deal. I can tell you the guys, or one of them, anyway, because I spent a great deal of time listening to him. Dan Mitchell, real Dan Mitchell, NFL content creator. I listened to him. I listened to him for probably 30 minutes today. So anyway, okay. Whatever. Appreciate you listening to me. And maybe tomorrow night I'll get back to your definition of me being the truth teller. 3161. I was about to say those listeners can kick rocks politely. Is there any way to say that politely? 1939. Hey, Ballou. How do you feel about Harbaugh or Kingsbury coaching the Titans next year? Of the two, which would you prefer being a Jaguars fan? Kingsbury, who, as we saw, walked away today a year after making it to the championship game. They both coordinators out in D.C. Harbaugh's a Super Bowl winning coach. All right. And I will say this, either over Anthony Campanile, who's been mentioned by, it initially came from Diana Rossini. You have that going for you. Okay. If we had Rossini in studio right now, she'd look outside and tell you that it's 85 degrees and sunny. But then again, I do that, don't I? When I begin every Monday show,
like
I say that
51. You'd be like, "Oh, it's great 75. I'm gonna walk this afternoon."
It's because I love Duval. 38-43. Ballou, the national media I've seen so far is surprisingly pro-Jaguars in the matchup. Kind of a disappointing, actually, less bulletin board material. Well, I'm here only to stir things up, and I've been providing bulletin board material that is coming out of Buffalo. Can we get to, I asked Trevor, I believe it's number 4 on Sunday. I think this is it, Dylan. I asked Trevor Lawrence after the game, okay, about, the valleys early on, adversity early on, and then during this 8-game win streak, to not succumb to positive remarks, not only locally, but I've noticed, and you're noticing now as well, that nationally, it feels like it has been the last 2 or 3 weeks where you're beginning to get a turn from the national media who are finally acknowledging what the Jaguars have done. I asked Trevor Lawrence about that after the game on Sunday.
Yeah, I think, using everything as fuel and put a chip on our shoulder is valuable at times, but it's never really been about that for our group. I mean, I think the edge and the chip on the shoulder that we play with is something different. It's guys that comes from within in our team, and it's not something that's going to go away, regardless of what people are saying, if they're saying good stuff. And it's at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. I mean, the playoffs, like, you get to prove it. You play. We're going to go play whoever this coming week, and we win. We get to keep playing, and then we're going to play the team that won the week before against somebody else, and you just keep going, and we'll see where it all ends up at the end of the day. And we know that, like I said, we have all the confidence that we can beat anybody, but you got to play well, and that's what it's about, is playing better than a team for 3 hours one day, and that's the playoffs. So we got to get ready to go this week, regardless of who we're playing. Going to be a good team, and we'll be ready to go.
It's often lost in it all is how you react to positive things. And, I believe more and more and more and more that today's younger athletes, they're involved. There was a time where you used to hear, I don't read the papers. I don't listen to the radio. That's what old school players used to say. We didn't believe it because they could tell you things that you said. I think today it's so relevant because it's there, okay? No matter where they go, social media-wise, something's going to pop up right in front of them, good or bad, that's being said about them. So I don't think you can be, a Steve Carlton or a Rasheed Wallace or a Marshawn Lynch and just have nothing to do with the meat. I'm here so I don't get fined type of deal. Unless you have that ability to just block that out and delete it, you're going to be force-fed that. But to me, it's very easy to react when you lose. It's very easy to hear the negativity. Coach has got to go. Players got to go. The other side of it is when you're winning like this, and all of a sudden you've made believers out of so many that you know what though, Dylan, I've always said this before the break. They are professionals. I think the positivity is much more effective on Saturday than Sunday. The college kids, back when they used to go to class, right? I'm sure they're just doing everything nowadays online. But I remember being a student, being a student at Florida State, and I'm a criminology grad. I had a lot of classes with Florida State football players. Oh, you guys are going to kill this team this week. You're going to kill this team this week. I think for a young amateur, that can have some effect. very little, in my opinion, for NFL players.
Yeah, and I mean, these kids are dealing with it from when they're 11, 12 years old now with social media, with the Instagram, and it's more of the negativity that is more impact, I think, than the positivity, because the negativity is more rampant. It's a lot easier to be around in class, in your classmates, to be more negative than positive. But yeah, most of these people in the league now, if they're under 30 years old, they've dealt with it their whole life.
It's really intriguing to me, but it feels like no matter who wins the Super Bowl this year, the first thing you're going to hear, no one believed in us. No one thought we would be here. And that would apply, oh, by the way, to the Jaguars. Okay? It absolutely would. Second part, that whether you hear it or not, there may be 100 articles written on a player. If 99 are positive, it's in and out, they'll find the one negative. If they're those who really do live it, through what people are saying in writing. Again, some try to do their best to tune it out. I think it's hard with social media, but I mean, these are things that drive athletes. Okay? I'm sure it drives actors. I'm sure it drives musicians. I'm sure it drives, anyone in the form of entertainment. I mean, being told that you suck, you can act like it doesn't bother you. And for the most part, you get used to it, right? I mean, when I'm told I suck, it's a lot easier for me to deal with now than it was 35 years ago. You learn how to just accept that and move on. But athletes always go to that card. You'll see it. Whoever hosts the Lombardi, no one believed in us. It doesn't matter who it is. It could be Seattle, it could be the LA Rams. That's the first thing they're going to say. No one believed in us. And then, again, taking the negativity and using it, I think, more as motivation than anything else. All right, we got much more to do. Hacker is here. He'll be with you tonight at 8 o'clock. We're ready to go all week long, though. 6 to 8, the remainder. Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. We got some great guests scheduled the remainder of the week, and appreciate all you being with us. We're with you tonight till 8 o'clock as well.
Game day doesn't end after the game. It's not complete without the window world of Northeast Florida fifth quarter with hacker Leon and Coach Gerald Ingram, flavored by Hurricane Grill and Wings and Apex Roofing and Contracting on 1010XL.
I used to dread going to the dentist. Every visit felt like a sales pitch with constant upselling, surprise fees on my bill, and I could never get in when I needed to. But Harbor Dental Care? Totally different. They saw me the next day, gave me honest pricing up front, and even set me up with a payment plan I could actually afford. No pressure, no surprise charges, just kind people who get it. If you want to experience dentistry the way it should be, book your appointment today at harbordental.care. That's HARBOUR dental.care.
Ballou here for Smoonez Vision. Why Smoonez Vision? Well, I've been with Dr. Neil Smoonez now since I got back to Jacksonville in 2006. 37 years of experience he has. Smoonez Vision is a family organization that focuses on personal high-quality medical and surgical eye care. Dr. Catherine Smoonez is fellowship-trained in cornea and cataract surgery and all refractive surgery. Combined, that's 30 years plus in laser eye surgery. Visit SmoonezVision.com today. Care you can see.
If you're ready to transform your yard with a fence that stands out, elevate your curb appeal with Superior Fence and Rail. Superior takes pride in offering first-class service, friendly installers, and unmatched fence products. Mention this ad and get $250 off your next project. It's time to get off the fence and call today.
When you're on the fence, about a fence, SuperiorFenceandRail.com.
Hi, I'm Mac with Baker Glass. If you've got fogged up windows, let me help. We'll replace them with clear, insulated units that brighten up your home. People say we're fast, friendly, and reliable. Just check out our Google reviews. Call me today. Baker Glass. No one treats you better.
Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Hacker here for the best weight loss program that I've ever done. And look, 2026 is on the horizon. If it's time for you to drop the weight like it was for me, book your consultation with Awaken 180 right now. Don't wait till all the New Year's resolutions start. You can start when you're ready, but but go ahead and talk to the great folks of Awaken 180. As I tell you guys, I lost over 100 pounds. There was no shots. There was no medication. There was no supplements. You follow the great, tremendous coaching you get every week with the great folks of Awaken 180, and the weight falls off. They coach you up. They give you the tools you need to drop the weight that you need to drop. Go to awaken180weightloss.com. That's awaken180weightloss.com, or call 844-346-1800 and get involved with Awaken 180 Weight Loss.
Ready to race Jacksonville? Indoor racing anytime at K1 Speed. Fast electric karts, real competition, and family fun. Buy 2 races, get 1 free every Tuesday. Cruise over to K1 Speed Jacksonville today. Your top destination for indoor racing.
Hi, I'm Chef Franklin Becker. You know the jingle. Now discover the facts about Ozempic, a GLP-1. There's only one FDA-approved Ozempic made by Novo Nordisk. Learn about the real thing.
Talk to your healthcare professional today. Call 1-833-OZEMPIC or visit Ozempic.com to view the medication guide and to learn more about Ozempic. Semaglutide injection 0.5, 1, and 2 milligrams.
I'm here with Danny Van Sickle, director of the Electrical Training Alliance. Danny, tell me about your program.
Hey, Rick. We're a 4-year electrical apprenticeship. Our students start out making over $40,000 a year, and right now make over $90,000 a year, including benefits. There is no tuition or student debt. You just have to apply and get accepted.
Did you say no tuition and no student debt?
You heard that right, Rick. Once you're accepted to the program, your only cost for the books and the course fees. About $800 a year.
That sounds like an amazing opportunity. How can I learn more?
Just go to etajax.org, and you can apply there.
Apply by May 14th.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah. Now, the Monahan's golden moment. Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach, your local family jewelers.
John Harbaugh going different ways with the Baltimore Ravens. I guess it didn't technically say that he was fired. If you don't show up for work tomorrow, in my opinion, that means you were fired, whether you... he's not going to resign because he's signed through 2028, but 193 career wins. Again, it's tough to believe that after what happened on, what was that, Sunday night? Are you kidding me? I mean, those 2 touchdown passes late with an injured Lamar Jackson to Zay Flowers. Your kicker misses the PAT, or Pittsburgh's kicker, Boswell, misses the PAT. Then your rookie kicker misses a chip shot field goal. So he's out. That leaves 7 coaches who are out. 2 in the regular season, as we know, in Tennessee and the New York Giants, and then 4 yesterday on Black Monday, 1 today with John Harbaugh. Nothing to report today on the Jaguars. It was an off day. Tomorrow is going to be huge. What a Wednesday. And we'll have everything. The injury report not only coming out of here, but particularly on the defensive side of the football in Buffalo. And, I imagine Josh Allen will be officially listed as questionable. There's no way he's going to miss the game here on Sunday. 38-23 Blue. You actually admitted that Ole Miss could never win a national championship. Wow. Keeping my fingers crossed that someday you'll be able to say that Deion Sanders is not a good football coach. If it happens, or it could happen, I'll say it. And I'm not even asking for a clause. I'm not even asking for a mulligan. Okay. Play golf with the guys. You get a breakfast ball. You get a mulligan off the tee. You get a backside mulligan off the tee. I'm like, this is great, for crying out loud. You just can't do it when you got 4 groups behind you. It's okay. Every once in a while, you're going to shank one. But I'd love to be able to excuse my comments about teams like this not being able to win a national championship, blame it on the transfer portal in the NAL. I'm not going to. I have set myself up to get punched right in the mouth. So if Mississippi wins, or Oregon wins, or Indiana wins, give it to me. Like Peter Wolf, give it to me. Some Jake Giles, some old school Jake Giles. Peter Wolf was the DJ before he became the lead singer of the Jake Giles band.
Did not.
Mm-hmm. He was on WBCM, which at the time was considered like the best rock and roll station on this planet. That is true. Peter Wolf.
If Indiana wins the national title, you think coaches have a short leash now with turning their program around? They're going to be on a short leash if Indiana wins a national title.
Yeah, but the contracts that are going in are still 7-8 years. You know, they're still incredibly lengthy. Peter Wolf was married to Faye Dunaway. Oh, by the way, what I want to say, she's from Tallahassee. I think she went to both Florida State and Florida, and then ended up graduating from Boston University, where she met Peter Wolf. I think so, with Faye Dunaway. I'd have to look back on that. It was one more I wanted to get here. There's so many great ones that come in here today. I mean, just outstanding stuff by you contributing to this program. But there's so many I don't remember what I did with it. So apologies coming from yours truly. All right, I'm already fired up for Hacker, and I'm fired up for tomorrow. I can wait for tomorrow's show, however. I got 22 hours to get ready. It's all about preparation. It's all about, seeing what's going on with that Buffalo media. Hey, Ballou, can you grab the Buffalo media, take what they say, and stir it up? Okay? If they say it's black, say it's white. If they come on out and say that they think that Jacksonville is not going to have success running the football, come right out here and say, hey, the Buffalo media has said, and I quote, Jags have absolutely no shot in the world of running the football. End of quote. So, yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Stir things up on a Wednesday, and that is coming up tomorrow. In the meantime, man, I haven't even really gotten to, I don't know why I haven't been on here, and I haven't had an opportunity to look at YouTube. Woo! Some good stuff going on YouTube tonight. I'm going to focus on you folks tomorrow. All right? I don't know. I just kind of got sidetracked. I got a little distracted. Some really good stuff coming in on our text line, and I've just been busy. But nonetheless, thank you for lending your comments as always. And you can join them at any time. Just go to YouTube, go to 1010XL Into the Night.
Live streaming from the XL Digital Studios. Brightened by Harbor Dental Care, Jacksonville's first choice for dental emergencies.
Greenlaw Group is for the insured. If you think you have roof damage, call 904-302-7055 today, and they will schedule you a free roof inspection. Trust their law firm to help you fight your insurance when you need it. These storms can cause damage you may not even see yet. Call Greenlaw Group 302-7055. There's no cost to retain their law firm and no cost to have your roof inspected. They only get paid if you win. Greenlaw Group, for the insured.
Jeff Lagerman for Napa Auto Care Centers. This football season, make sure your ride can get to that tailgate or travel to the away game safely and dependably. You can trust the ASE certified professionals at any one of the 29 independently owned Napa Auto Care Centers and the quality Napa parts they use. Napa Auto Care Centers can handle everything: oil changes, air conditioning, brakes, engines, transmissions. Napa Auto Care Centers offers a nationwide 24-month, 24,000-mile peace-of-mind warranty on most repairs. Find one near you at jacksnapaautocare.group.com.
Hi, I'm Sean Monahan from Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach. We're your local family jeweler for 46 years in Jacksonville with a huge selection of diamonds, gemstones, and pre-owned Rolex watches. And Monahan Jewelers is your store for expert jewelry repair turned around in 1 or 2 days. Most jewelry stores take 2 weeks or more, and many stores send your jewelry somewhere else for repair. At Monahan Jewelers, our jewelry repair is done in-house by expert craftsmen, and Monahans can turn around most repairs in a day or two. So bring your jewelry repair to Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach.
Lucas Tree Service is a certified arborist and a local family-owned business with over 45 years of experience. They specialize in tree removal, trimming, and stump grinding for both residential and commercial properties. Get prepared for storm season and receive top-notch customer service from Lucas Tree Service, 904-241-3533. Online at lucastreeservice.com.
Hey, Hicken here. Leave all the 2025 dirt and celebrate the new year with our friends from Zero Res. Carpets, tile, hardwood, LVP, area rugs, upholstery. Basically every surface in your home can be Zero Resified. Time to call the cleaning pros at Zero Res, and don't forget about your air ducts. Zero Res has a 4.9 rating on Google with more than 8,000 reviews. Bring in the new year with 20% off carpet and upholstery cleaning, plus take $100 off your air duct cleaning when you mention 1010XL. 287-5727, or book online at ZeroWestJacksonville.com.
Hey everybody, it's Mike Dempsey, and I've got a challenge for you. Go stand next to your window. You feel a cool draft? Well, then you need Pella. The experts at Pella Windows and Doors can easily fix that with energy-efficient windows to keep the drafty air out and save you money every month. And how does 0% interest for 60 months sound? Go to PellaJacks.com and schedule a free home energy checkup. That's PellaJacks.com, or visit the showroom on Phillips Highway just north of Bay Meadows and tell them you heard about Mike's challenge on 1010XL.
Anytime you've got major plumbing problems, and even the minor ones, there's several potential causes, and they usually can't be easily detected. So don't guess at a solution. Hire Roland Reese Plumbing at PlumbingJacksonville.com.
This is Hayes Carline for First Florida Credit Union. I bank with First Florida Credit Union because I trust them. I can always count on them when it comes to the vast services they provide. The online banking services are outstanding, so easy to use. Depositing checks through the mobile app is fast and efficient. First Florida Credit Union was voted Best Credit Union in the Best of Bold City Community Choice Awards for 3 years running, and it's easy to see why. You need to be banking with First Florida Credit Union. They're enriching people every day. Federally insured by NCUA, Equal Housing Opportunity Lender.
Picketeer for Oceanside Cleaners, the very best in dry cleaning service. Free pickup and delivery, or use their self-service kiosk in Ponte Vedra and Southside for drop-off and pickup. Dry cleaning, laundry, bedding, and bridal gown preservation. If it's got fabric, they can clean it. Oceanside Cleaners.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch. Now, the 2-minute drill is driven by nobody but Nimnicht. Nimnicht Chevrolet on Cassett Avenue and Nimnicht Buick GMC on Phillips Highway.
All right, the GF's in Dallas for a week. That means Ballou's going to play. Tonight, it'll consist of Bruins hockey against the Seattle Kraken. That'll begin at 10 o'clock.
That sounds like a good night.
Yeah, just home alone in the bar.
Yeah.
You know, me and Crookshanks and Luna. That's it. My 2 girls' cats. The girls left, the cats stayed.
Sometimes those are the best nights, man. Just by yourself with your thoughts, a little sports bar action. I like that.
Well, that happens quite a bit because the GS one of those who goes to bed at like 10:30 and she's out, and I don't go to sleep till 3. Well, I do. I mean, my sleeping hours are 3 to 11.
Yeah.
And I get everything done. Hey, listen, have goals in life. My goal, my entire life, getting up early for school, that included college. I wanted to be able to sleep in. I sleep in till 11.
I get to get a 6-year-old ready for school every morning.
Well, those days were different.
What a battle that is.
When I had the girls, I was totally different, bringing them to school. No question about it. All right, Hacker Nation. Off day for the Jaguars. Not an off day for you. You got a lot coming up.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, it's going to be a majority of Jaguar talk. We are going to sprinkle in a little Florida talk as well, as Jaden Ball announces he's coming back to go along with Vernell Brown and Dallas Wilson. So Zach Goodall of 24/7 Sports down in Gainesville will join me. But as you can imagine, the first 90 minutes or so, all Jaguars. John Shipley, Jaguars on SI, and Steve Palazzolo. Do you watch the Check the Mic podcast that he does with Sam Monson? It's one of my favorites. They were on PFF for a while. Now they're part of the 33rd team, but they do a YouTube show 3 days a week called Check the Mic. And again, one of my favorite podcasts. Steve's going to join me. I think he's one of the national guys that's very fair when it comes to his analysis of the Jacksonville Jaguars. And I'm looking forward to that conversation coming up here about 8:30 tonight.
All right. I was accused tonight by a listener who's a Buffalo fan, who listens to Buffalo media, of trying to stir the pot. According to him, no one in the Buffalo media thinks that it's going to be easy to come down here and win a ball game. I totally disagree with that based on what I heard today. I know you've been in tune. What do you believe?
Whoever told that to you, that is preposterous. Now, again, I don't know if TV guy up there is saying it's not.
He said WJR.
Okay. I'm actually going on with the fellas. The WGR tomorrow.
All right, WGR.
Yeah, WGR 550. I'm going on the afternoon show. I'm going on Sal Capaccio's podcast as well tomorrow. Sal and I were kind of mixing it up a little bit. Sal's my guy in Buffalo. He's actually joining me tomorrow night. I don't know about the WGR guys necessarily, but I know a lot of the podcast guys up in Buffalo, Bill's Mania podcast and all these different things. All they're doing is reciting stats. All they're doing is saying, well, the Jaguars' run defense, it's number 1, but they haven't faced quality running backs and the number of, they're going by their computer.
Yep.
It is obvious that an overwhelming majority of the people in Western New York have not watched a down of the Jacksonville Jaguars, and they're going based on what they read with statistics. They're box score people, which is what we said for the longest time about the criticism nationally of Trevor Lawrence.
And I love the fact that they said that Jacksonville cannot pressure the quarterback, and then you see Daniel Griffiths come out and say, well, they're fast, second fastest with the blitz of making the quarterback get rid of the ball, and they're in the top 7 of getting rid of the ball in general. So again, there's way to cook books, but I was kind of hoping you were going to say, no, Ballou, I've listened out there, and they all are scared you're making stuff up.
No, people in Western New York, again, I told you last night, they think they're playing, UNF. They think they're playing. The JU Dolphins have brought back their football program. That's what they're making the Jaguars out to be. Nationally, that's not the case. Right. If you watch ESPN and the fellas, but in Buffalo, at least what I've seen in the first 2 days, they think it's going to be very, very easy down there.
Yeah, I saw Stephen A. said it today. I mean, he came out of not nowhere, but there's no way he would have made that prediction going back a month ago. All right, you got all that coming up?
Yeah, it's going to be a fun night. We're with you till 10 o'clock.
All right, Hack, have a good show. That's going to do it for us. Thank you to everyone for making this a whole heck of a lot of fun. Thanks to Mark Duffner for joining us on the program. Tomorrow, John Osher, I know Philly Godfather either tomorrow or Thursday. I'll work that out. I don't want to do a ton of guests. Just because I have a lot to say, and as always, I try to get you involved, especially very late in the program. All right, that's going to do it. That is going to do it for us. Thank you to Dylan Denmark. My name is Rick Ballou. It's a big Wednesday, and it's right around the corner. Make sure you enjoy your Tuesday night first. That's going to do it. Hackers next. I'm Rick Ballou. We'll talk tomorrow at 6 right here